Hi guys, it's Mrs. Crewell. I'm here to read the next day of Out of My Mind. And remember last time Melody and the team were at the studio getting ready for their first WizKid competition. It's time. Cameras rolling, someone calls out. In 5, 4, 3, 2. He points to the man at center stage. The moderator, a slim guy with hair that looks like it has been glued into place, brushes a speck off his tuxedo, adjusts his red striped tie, and begins speaking right on cue. Good evening, he says with a perfectly modulated voice that announcers seem to be born with. My name is Charles Kingsley, and I'd like to welcome you to the WizKids Southeast Ohio Regional Competition. Cheers all around. In 2 weeks, the winner of this competition will travel to Washington, D.C. to represent our area at the National Championships. More cheers. We wish the best of luck to all of our young competitors. The studio quiets. The rules are simple, Mr. Kingsley explains. Teams will be asked 25 questions. Each correct answer from each 4-member team is worth 1 point. So the maximum total team score is 100 points. He pauses so the cameras can show the scoreboard, and then he announces. The 2 teams with the highest scores from all preliminary rounds will meet for what we call a quiz-off. So point totals are critical. The winner of the final set of quiz questions will be declared our local elementary school level champion and will proceed to the nationals in Washington. The team that emerges as the winner will appear live on national television on Good Morning America the next morning. Cheers and applause. Our first 2 teams to compete tonight will be Woodland Elementary and Spalding Street Elementary. Take your places, ladies and gentlemen. The 4 contestants from Woodland and the other 3 members of our team walk to the testing area. Waiting for the cameras, Catherine rolls me to my position, makes sure I can easily reach the bottoms, and then she gives me a quick hug and walks away. I'd like to take a moment, Mr. Kingsley says, to introduce a very special participant in our competition tonight. Her name is Melody Brooks. The cameras all point in my direction. The studio lights are incredibly bright and hot. I blink rapidly. I feel damp and sweaty. Although the other contestants will stand, Melody will be seated as she answers the questions. We've made adjustments to our answer board so that she can access the buttons, but nothing else. I hear she's a fierce competitor. I try to wave, but I figure I look goofy and wobbly, so I pull my hand down. Rose stands next to me, with Connor in the middle and Claire on the far end. I feel like I'm going to throw up, I hear Claire whisper. Don't you dare, Connor hisses. We'll start with a practice round. So, you can familiarize yourself with your button system. Everyone ready? Which of the following is a mammal? A. Cat. B. Bird. C. Turtle. D. Spider. Everyone, including me, pushes A, of course. The screens in front of us light up with the letter A. Don't you wish all the questions would be that easy? Mr. Kingsley asked, chuckling. Yeah, right. Remember 2 things, he reminds everyone. First, this is a team competition, and second, this is not a test of speed, but of accuracy. Teams get more points if all 4 contestants come up with the correct answer, and the 2 teams with the most points meet for the finals. Are we ready? Ready! The 7 contestants on stage answer. I start to hit the word ready on my board, but I decide to concentrate on the contest instead. Round 1. We'll have 25 questions. Let us begin. Number 1. I tense. Here we go. The average lifespan of an adult mayfly can range from A. 1 minute to 1 hour. B. 30 minutes to 1 day. C. 1 day to 1 week. D. 2 weeks to 1 month. Bing, 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 bing. Everyone hits their buttons. Once the answers are locked in, the readouts are displayed and everyone on our team answered B. One person on the Woodland team answered A. Mr. Kingsley smiles and says, Woodland has 3 points and Spalding now has 4 with all correct responses. We can do this. I can do this. Bring on the next one. Number 2, he intones. The battles of Lexington and Concord in the American Revolutionary War were fought in what year? A. 1774, B. 1775, C. 1776, D. 1771. That one's a little tricky. I press B. However, so does everyone else. The score is now 7 to 8. Mr. Kingsley continues. In literature, the word oxymoron means which of the following? A. A combination of contradictory words. B. The outcome of a sequence of events. C. An implied reference to a literary or historical event. D. A symbolic story or narrative. I'm fairly sure the answer is A, but the word could mean big-headed crippled kid who thinks she can win on a national quiz competition. And when the answer is shown on the screen, Connor got it wrong, and so did 2 members of the Woodland team. So the score is now set at Woodland 9, Spalding 11. We're still up, but we have 22 more questions to go. The next question, Mr. Kingsley says, deals with math. Oh, crap. I'm dead meat. There are 2,357 paintings in an art museum. The museum has 124 rooms, which is a reasonable estimate for the number of paintings in each room. A. 10, B. 20, C. 60, D. 200. Yep. Dead. Rotten meat. Let's see. I've got to visualize a museum and rooms and lovely paintings. How many in each room? I'm not sure. Divide that into what? Not sure. I'm going to say 60. When the answer flashes B, I feel like I'm an idiot. But Rose got it wrong too, and so did 2 kids on the Woodland team. So the score is 13 to 11. And by the time we get to the 25th question, I'm sweaty and thirsty, but I'm pumped. The lead bounced back and forth. The 2 teams, a couple of times. We were not sure what was going to happen. Sometimes they were in front of us, and sometimes they forged behind. I got most of the language arts questions right, but the math questions always stump me. Connor can't spell, so we missed several of those questions. Rose is weak in history. Claire has trouble with science. The Woodland team was about the same. Some kids good in some areas and some good in others. And now we came to the final question with our first 2 teams. Mr. Kingsley clears his throat. A weather event that measured 6.5 on the Richter scale would be A. Tornado, B. Hurricane, C. Earthquake, and D. Tsunami. Bing, 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 bing. I punch C and relax. I did not have a tornado spaz. Connor, Rose, and Claire all got the final question correct as well. And 2 people on the Woodland team guessed hurricane instead. When the results were tallied, our team had a total of 81 points, and Woodland ended up with 77. Congratulations, Spalding, Mr. Kingsley says with a smile. The 2 highest scoring teams will meet for the final round later tonight. Good luck, and we hope to see you again. Victory, round 1. As the show breaks for a commercial, we are all escorted to a special waiting room in the back. The students from Woodland look really disappointed. That's it for them for the whole competition. All they can do now is watch as the second 2 teams head to the stage for their session under the lights. Mom, Dad, Penny, Mrs. V, and Catherine are all waiting for me in the back room, hugging me and kissing me like I won the lottery or something. Catherine does a happy dance, and Dad tells me he filmed the whole thing on his camcorder. You rocked, Melody, Miss V shouts. I'm so proud of you, sweetie, my mom says. Can I have a Coke? I type as quickly as I can. I feel breathless. Everyone laughs as Catherine rushes to find me a paper cup for the sodas that are sitting on ice in the waiting room for the contestants. Mom pours dribbles of ice cold Coke into my mouth, one sip at a time, making sure I don't spill on my shirt. I'm so thirsty. I don't even care that people from other teams are staring at me. Mr. Dimming, after talking to Rose and Connor and Claire, bounds to us beaming. Ah, this is such a thrill, Melody. You're amazing out there. I'm so proud of our team, extremely proud of you. Thanks, I tap. What's next? Well, we wait for the next teams to compete, then we'll meet and beat the other high scoring team and pack our bags for Washington. Don't pack yet, I type, but I have a grin on my face. I've been packed for 10 years, he tells me. I've just been waiting for the right team. This is our year. I just know it. He wanders off to talk to other parents. I never thought about a teacher's having a dream like that. I had no idea what a big deal this was for him. Rose comes over and squats down next to Penny. I like your hat, she tells Penny, who's holding Doodle closely and wearing a blue polka-dotted hat with a red feather. Wozy, Penny says gleefully. How's my favorite baby girl? Rose says in her whispery voice. Wozy, Penny repeats. Well, you did really good, Melody, Rose says to me. You too, I type. You think we have a chance at the finals? Yep. And Washington? Yep. And being on Good Morning America? Oh, yeah. Claire stays on the other side of the room with her parents, but Connor comes over and stands next to Rose. You're okay, Melody, he says. You beat me on a couple of those. Well, you rock at math, I tell him. I know, he replies with a grin. But I can't spell. I hope they don't have any spelling questions in the finals. I gotta go to the bathroom, Rose says suddenly. I'm so nervous about the finals. She hurries out. I know what she means. Butterflies, moths, giant bumblebees are all fluttering inside of me. When we were on camera, it felt like it took a million years to complete our round. But in just a few minutes, the second set of contestants came back to the waiting room. The school with the little crowns won round 2 with 79 points. And then, within another half hour, Edison Elementary clinches the third round with a score of 80. Finally, a school called Perry Valley wins the fourth round with 82 points, just 1 point more than us. I watch them, Mrs. V tells me when they troop back in the room, excited and victorious. They're really good. Should we worry, I ask. Of course not. Our team is the best because they have a secret weapon. You. Suddenly, there's a rush of activity in the room as stage hands come to get us. Perry Valley and Spalding Street. You need to be back on camera for the finals. You are our 2 top scoring schools. Congratulations. We hurry back to our places. The lights seem brighter this time. Mr. Kingsley returns to his position, gets his microphone adjusted by the stage crew, and shouts, Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round of our Regional Whiz Kids competition. The winners of this round will represent all of us at Washington, D.C. in just 2 weeks. All members of the winning team, along with their chaperones, will receive an all-expenses-paid trip to our nation's capital, 3 nights in a hotel, and tours of the city. Trophy! Trophy! Someone yells. Oh, the famous Whiz Kids Championship Award? The winning team in Washington gets to take home that huge golden trophy. They receive a guest appearance on Good Morning America, and their school will receive a check for $2,000 to be used for academic endeavors. Lots of whoops at that. Let us begin, teams. Are you ready? Ready, they all reply, and I'm ready too. OMG, what a night. I still can't believe how everything turned out once the championship round began. That's when Mr. Kingsley explained. The questions this time will be a bit more difficult. Scoring, however, will be the same. The team with the best score out of 100 possible points will be our champion. He picked up the cards that contained the quiz questions and smiled. Here is question number 1. What is diplopia? A. Double vision. B. Left-handedness. C. A disease of the gums. Or D. A form of cancer. Oh boy, he wasn't kidding. This was going to be a killer round. I was sure the answer was A, though. Kind of. And when the answer was revealed, double vision was correct. Whew! Rose, Connor, and I got it right. Claire missed it. Everyone in Perry Valley team answered it correctly. The score was 3-4. Number 2, Mr. Kingsley said. Who is the composer of Rhapsody in Blue? Mozart, A. B. Gershwin, C. Copland, D. Beethoven. Bing, bing, bing. Thanks to my parents and Miss V, that was a little easier. I pushed the button B. One person on the Perry Valley team got it wrong, and Claire messed up as well. That made the score 6-7 with Perry Valley ahead. Everyone would feel the tension. The next 20 questions covered things like lions in the jungle, gravity in space, authors of famous books, and math. Some of those I even got right. Bing, bing, bing. Even though Connor aced a hard spelling problem and Claire came through on difficult history questions, Perry Valley kept staying 1 or 2 points ahead of us. It was getting near the end of the round, and Perry Valley had surged ahead on a math question and was up by 3 points. It looked pretty grim for us. With a score of 78-81, I glanced at Connor. Sweat was dripping from his nose. Then Mr. Kingsley asked, a condition in which a person may be able to hear colors or visualize flavors when music is played is called A. Synthesis, B. Symbiosis, C. Synthesia, and D. Symbolism. I grinned and I punched C. Not only was it one of Mrs. M's vocabulary words, it described me. I breathed a sigh of relief when I realized that Connor and Claire and Rose had also chosen the right answer. When the results were tallied, only one of the Perry kids had gotten it right. The score was 82-82. It was time for the very last question. This one would determine the group that would go to Washington. I glanced at Rose and the others. I think we all gulped at the same time. Our last question of the evening, Mr. Kingsley began, is a mathematics problem. I groaned inside. There goes our trip to Washington. I may as well go back to room H5 and hide there for the next 1,000 years. Number 25, Mr. Kingsley said slowly. Lisa gets up every morning and gets ready for school. She takes 22 minutes to get dressed, 18 minutes to eat breakfast, and 10 minutes to walk to school. What time would Lisa get up so she can arrive at school at 8:25? A. 6:15 a.m. B. 6:20 a.m. C. 6:25 a.m. and D. 6:35 a.m. I needed to add, then subtract. How do I subtract time? I need to see a clock. I'm getting all mixed up. Time is running out. I can't mess up now. It could have been C, but it might have been D. I thought for a moment. I pushed D, feeling like I was going to throw up. The answers lit up on the screen, and everyone on our team answered D. Either we're all correct or we're all really terrible at figuring out time problems. 3 students on the Perry Valley team had answered D. One of them was C. Well, it looks like we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely pleased to announce that the team that will represent us in Washington, D.C. this year, that team we hope to see on Good Morning America with a score of 86-85 is, pausing for effect, Spalding Street Elementary School. I couldn't help it. I squealed. I kicked. My arms jerked crazily. I tried really hard to control it, but I just couldn't help it. My body went a little wacko on me. Shut her up, I heard Claire hiss. Shh, said Rose. Thank you for watching our telecast, Mr. Kingsley said, throwing a quick glance at me. Please join us in 2 weeks when we televise the finals from Washington. This is Charles Kingsley. Good night. He signaled that he was finished, and the cameras blinked into the dark, and the lights blessedly clicked off. I couldn't stop kicking. My arms acted like wind-up toys gone bananas. I screamed with joy. At least nobody noticed this time, because hoots and hollers abounded from dozens of people, not just me. Dad balanced Penny in one arm and the camcorder in another. Mom, Catherine, and Miss V rushed over to me and almost smothered me with hugs. Mrs. V tried to look as if she weren't surprised, but her green seemed to be permanently attached. Mr. Dimming, the alternates, and all the parents of the rest of the kids on the team cheered and jumped and patted one another on the back. One of the parents streamed confetti over us. Balloons appeared from nowhere. Somebody in the studio turned the speakers up loud and played the song, Celebrate Tonight. People started to dance. It seemed as if a million pictures were taken. Amazingly, lots were being taken of me. I did my best to calm down and relax. Smile, Melody, a guy with a baseball cap said. Click, flash. Can somebody sit her up a little straighter in her chair? Click, flash. Get a picture of the kid in the wheelchair. I think that guy was a reporter. Click, flash. Where's the winning team? Another reporter asked loudly. We want a team picture for the newspaper. Why don't you kids stand around Melody? Okay now, smile. Click, flash. I could barely see. Blue dots danced in front of my eyes. We want the winning team for a TV interview, someone else called out. Can we have them over here? People were shuffling around, and a stagehand helped us up. Connor, Rose, and Claire sat in chairs next to me. Amanda, Molly, Elena, and Rodney stood behind us, and Mr. Dimming stood next to Rodney. I hoped that my hair looked okay, and that I wouldn't look too goofy. The reporter silenced the crowd as the cameraman lined up and got into position. Good evening. This is Elizabeth Oka of Channel 6 News. I'm here in our studio as we speak to students from Spalding Street Elementary School, victorious members of the winning team of the WizKid competition held here tonight. These are 8 of the brightest young people in our community who buzzed their way to victory tonight. Let's meet them. We'll start with the alternates in the back row, the youngsters who will fill in should one of the team members not be able to participate. Please tell me your names and ages, she asked as she put the microphone in front of each student. Amanda Firestone, age 12. Molly North, age 11. Elena Rodriguez, age 12. Rodney Mosel, age 11 and a half. That got a laugh. Miss Oka continued, and seated in front of me is the championship team. Please tell me your names as well. My name is Claire Wilson, and I'm 11, and I got one right more than anyone else on my team. Oh, good for you, said Miss Oka. I knew you studied hard for this. The reporter moved quickly to Rose. And you are? Rose Spencer, age 11, Rose said, sounding shy. What stands out for you this evening? Said the reporter as the camera got closer. I was on last year's team, and we lost by only a few points, so it's real exciting to win the game. I'm very proud of our team, said Rose. Great answer, and we're proud of you as well, Miss Oka said. And now this tall young man. Your name, sir? She asked Connor. Connor Bates. Hi, Mom. Connor spoke loudly into the mic. Do you remember the hardest question you were given tonight? Said the reporter. I thought of all the questions were super easy, said Connor. I missed a few on purpose so the other contestants wouldn't feel bad. Miss Oka burst into laughter. How does it feel to be on a team with your very special team member? She asked. Hey, Melody's okay. She's really smart. Let me introduce you to... But I wasn't about to let him steal my thunder. My name is Melody Brooks, and I'm 11 years old, my machine said loudly and clearly. The reporter looked amazed. Well, this is astounding. How does it feel to be part of the winning team, Melody? I pressed my key for super. She laughed. It was difficult to study and prepare for the competition, was it? Said Miss Oka. No, lots of people helped me. What was the hardest part about participating tonight? Hoping I wouldn't mess up. She smiled. We all feel like that sometimes. Are you excited about traveling to Washington, D.C.? Oh, yes. Have you ever been there before? No. How will being on the winning team change your life in school? I had to think about that question. Not much, I admitted, and then the reporter waited patiently. I took the time to tap the right words. Maybe kids will talk to me more. I talk to her all the time, Claire interjected, but Rose and Connor looked at her with frowns. Huh? Rose said. Miss Oka moved away from me and over to Claire. So you consider yourself to be Melody's friend? Oh, absolutely, Claire said with a bounce in her colored curls. She and I eat lunch together every day and test each other in questions for the quiz team. Melody is a lot smarter than she looks. Rose raised her hand to speak, but the reporter shook her head. I'm so sorry we're out of time, she told Rose. And to the camera she said, in addition to the great group of kids, we've just met two remarkable women, best friends in spite of their differences, and members of the winning Washington-bound WizKid team. Congratulations to you all. I was stunned. Claire? All right, I'm going to stop there and I'll read again later. Bye.